Hey guys, what's up? Today I got an NU match, and this one is against the one and only TonyFlygon. He hit me up on Skype and asked if I wanted to battle, and I said sure, and we had a battle. As you can see, I'm kind of confused as to what he's going to lead with. I'm thinking Kadabra, to be completely honest, or perhaps Gigalith, but yeah, he's actually going to choose Tangela for some reason. But anyways, I'm just going to go with my Cinccino because it has U-turn and it is faster than pretty much everything in NU because it has base 115 speed and all that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave with that. Nothing else is really an option. The trio maybe, but I don't want his walls to lead or even Kling Clangs. I don't think I can take that out. Even Gigalith, I don't think I can OHKO with an Earthquake. I mean, the trio's attack is just really bad. So yeah, Cinccino's the choice Pokemon to lead. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So right off the bat, like I said, he's going to lead with Tangela. And I was like, shit, I don't really know what to do. Because to be honest, I don't have anything to really kill this Tangela. Because even my Mr. Mime, who is my only really special attacker, has Psyshock. Which really sucks, because that means that it's going to hit his much stronger physical defensive side. And that's definitely not good. So I'm going to switch out to Wartortle, predicting him to Sleep Powder because my Wartortle is a Rest Talker, and he's actually going to knock off, which really sucks. So I lost my Eviolite on the very first turn. But I'm just going to get a Toxic off, which was actually a really stupid idea because I do take it to Giga Drain. And even stupider, or more stupid, because stupider is even more stupid than saying more stupid, is that he has an Altaria, and it probably has Heal Bell, and he's going to switch right into it, which is exactly what it means. He's going to have Heal Bell. And that is going to nullify me Toxicking him, even though that does get him out. And my Wartortle is healed up. It is asleep, and Rest Talk is not as reliable as choosing your moves, although I only also have Scold, so it's not really that big of a deal. But going to go to Cinccino, and going to see what he wants to do against it. Probably should have expected him just to switch back to his physical wall, but I was not sure. So I'm going to go for the Rock Blast. I'm going to do like absolutely nothing to this Tangela. But, you know, that's fine. Damage is damage, and it's eventually going to add up. I wasn't expecting him to switch out here, although it is true that he does wall my entire set with Kling Clang, especially with that base 115 defense. Because, you know, almost all Cinccinos have the exact same moves. Tail Slap, Rock Blast, Bullet Seed, and U-Turn, and all of them are resisted by Steel types. Hooray! And he can get a shift gear off and start sweeping me. I'm going to go to my Absol though, and I'm going to go for the Scarfed Superpower with max attack. And he's going to live, which is really not nice. I did not enjoy him living that. And of course now with my defense drop, his Gear Grind is going to be able to kill me. And that's also not nice, although he did do basically normal damage. I'll have to check out the calcs on that, but didn't really matter. I didn't expect to live. I did expect to kill him, though. That's kind of unfortunate that I didn't. But I can go on my deck trio, and I know he's not faster, obviously, because although he does have base 90 speed, which is really weird. I mean, it's a bunch of gears. You'd think they'd be slow, especially with the whole fact that they're like locked in place in most engines. But yeah, no, the trio is way faster, and can just Earthquake and kill him, and he cannot switch out because of Arena Trap. So I'm going to go on my Tangela. Is actually going to knock off, and I'm going to lose my other Eviolite, which is kind of weird. I really was thinking of, instead of Wartortle, going with Slowking, which would have been a much better option, because knockoff is not so bad on a Slowking, because its defenses come from stats and not Eviolite, so it's not that big of a deal. But meh. I'm going to go for knockoff my own. He's going to switch to Gigalith. I am going to Sleep Powder it, because I'm pretty sure I'm faster, and I am. And he's just going to fall asleep. He's going to go into his Altaria. My guess is to get a Heal Bell off. But if he did that, then I just put it to sleep. And then whatever he switches into to sleep, because he has Natural Cure. Assuming he doesn't have Cloud9 for some really dumb reason. But I went for the Leech Seed because I know he wouldn't switch in his Tangela. And expecting him to be taking a Giga Drain. But yeah, so I go for the knockoff here. He Toxics me, which is really stupid. Another move I really should have seen coming on an Altaria. I mean, unless it's Dragon Dance, they almost all have Heal Bell and or Toxic, and you know, Roost and probably Dragon Pulse, maybe Dragon Claw. I don't know, but like that was really dumb because that's gonna be huge because he was my main counter to his Tangela. Although it would have taken forever, he's like the only thing I have to check it. Or to counter it, rather. I guess, what's the opposite side? Like, I mean, there's a counter which can take hits and kill. There's a check which can only kill. What's the thing that can only take hits? I guess wall? I guess. So, anyways, going to go to my Tangela because I know he's going to Leech Seed or perhaps the knockoff or Toxic, whatever. And I'm just going to Leech Seed while he protects, which is weird. That means he doesn't have Sleep Powder, which is, again, as I said, weird. But I'm going to expect him to switch to something else, and I'm just going to try and knock off. Or sorry, no, I was expecting to stay in because Leech Seed, he would take Leech Seed, nothing else on his team would take it, except his Kadabra, who can also take it, so he's thinking that, but I went for the knockoff, and I got rid of his Life Orb, so I'm thinking, okay, go to Mr. Mime, I can Calm Mind up, and, you know, maybe beat him, but he's got Shadow Ball, and I'm just like, crap. Of course you have Shadow Ball. Like, I mean, you're a Kadabra. Like, why would you not have Shadow Ball? What's even worse is that turns out he doesn't have Focus Blast. What he has is Encore. So I'm just like, well, crap. That kind of blows. Yeah. So I'm going to have to switch out here. But because he has Shadow Ball, and I know he's not going to want to go for the Psychic or the Psyshock, whatever one he has, I am going to switch out into my Cinccino, and he's going to do absolutely nothing because I am immune to Ghost type attacks. Here, I'm thinking he's going to want to stay in or even switch out. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to go for the Tail Staff. He thought I would U-turn and goes for the Substitute. He's actually faster because I'm Adamant, and the reason for that, which I didn't remember at the time, is because it still lets me outspeed base 100s, just like Azelf. Because it's 115 base speed, so that's why I did it. But yeah, even if I was faster, I would have killed him with a Tail Slap. He really should have just switched out. He's like, I don't know why I thought you'd U-turn when you have 3 multi-hit moves, probably all of which would KO. But yeah, so I'm gonna U-turn out, go to my Tangela. Again, as I said, just to wall his Tangela, because that's really my only option. Toxic's kind of annoying, but I do have Regenerator, so I'm pretty much healing up back to full health every time. I'm gonna knock off this time. As he protects, because I really want that Eviolite gone, because I'm basically running out of options to kill him. Basically, my only thing is my Mr. Mime, as I said, but it's not really that great of an option. So I'm going to go for Leech Seed here. Pretty certain he'd switch out to not get knocked off. And Leech Seed is going to affect his Altaria, and that's nice, because basically now, unless he switches out like right now, he's really not going to be able to take a hit. And if he doesn't switch out, then I can just go to my Cinccino, who will, you know, take a Toxic, whatever, no big deal. And now he's basically locked in unless he wants to switch out and come back in and almost die to Rocks and whatever measly attack I go for. So I'm going to go for the Tail Slap. He's actually going to switch out, I guess, considering that I do have a Tangela and a Wartortle, which is probably both faster than you can get a Roost off, but that's not going to happen. So Tail Slap happens, and Gigalith takes those hits better than Tangela took the Rock Blast because it's resisted, and his base defense is really good as well. I'm assuming this is an autonomized set, probably, but I'm not really sure because he never actually attacks because I put him to sleep, and now he's going to be dead because of Bullet Seed. I did get a crit on the 4th one, but it didn't matter because I had a 5th one coming because I have Skill Link. And that makes you always hit 5 times, which I think is better unless you're lucky. Basically, Technician is better if you get 4 or 5 hits, which is like 25% chance to get the 2 of them. But most likely you're going to get 2 or 3, in which case Skill Link is better. So again, like I said, Technician is only better if you get lucky, and no one ever seems to think they get lucky, so Skill Link is better, yeah. So, I'm going to go to my Mr. Mime. I figured he'd protect after I attacked, but I'm like, not that big of a deal. I could have kept it for something, but not a huge deal. Mr. Mime's going to come in. He's going to Leech Seed me. That's fine. I'm going to Calm Mind. I'm basically trying to get to +2 so that I can start hitting him quite hard. I was expecting him to protect here, but expecting me to expect him to protect, he goes for the Giga Drain. And that's not going to do too much, but it is a nice little dent considering I have +2 special defense. I figured now he's definitely going to want to protect. Definitely now, and then switch out. Or do something. Because again, as I said, I'm going for +2. But knowing that he'll go for Protect now, I am going to go for another Calm Mind and just ensure that I can be able to kill this thing and get rid of it, because it's no longer going to be a headache. But yeah, so Leech Seed's still stopping me away, but I have leftover, so it's okay. I'm going to go for the Focus Blast. I'm going to switch it to Altaria, which is kind of weird, because even if I don't kill it, I'm still faster, so I guess it sort of is okay. But whatever. He is going to now go into his Basculin. I knew he would have Waterfall, or not Waterfall, of course he has Waterfall, but I knew he'd have Aqua Jet and he'd go for it, so I probably should have switched out to my Tangela, to be completely honest. I really should have, but I figured, Mr. Mime's not going to be very useful. So, whatever. Or I could have went into my War Turtle, even better. But, yeah, I'm going to go for the Sleep Talk. I'm like, come on, please get Toxic, please get Toxic. And, of course, no one's ever lucky, so I'm going to get Rest, and that makes it completely useless. But as you saw before, the damage calcs 162 is max, and he'd need to draw that almost twice to KO me, and what do you know, he just got 162 max damage. So I'm like, alright, let's Sleep Talk again. Maybe I'll get Toxic, and booyah, I do. So that's really exciting. But I'm like, you know what, I can stay in. He's only got like a 10% chance to get 160, 161, 162. And I can get off a Rest, and then that'll be great. But nope, he does get that 10% chance. He does hit me, getting max damage, and then that 10% chance, it's like 0.35% or something. So basically, that's like the worst hacks you can get, even worse than getting like paralyzed like 3 times in a row or something like that. So yeah, and he's also going to get a critical hit on this very first Giga Drain, which at this point didn't really matter. Basically, I was thinking maybe I could, after a few turns of Toxic, switch to my Trio. He'd get OHKO'd by Giga Drain, and he'd gain 100 health, but it might put him low enough to where that he'd die from Toxic, and I'd be fine because of Regenerator and my Toxic is reset. His Basculin is Adamant Choice Band, but a Waterfall with Adaptability can only do about a quarter to Tangela, and I'd, of course, regenerate more than a third. A third. And I'd have probably about 40%, depending on when I switched out. And I could take that, put him to sleep, and then Giga Drain and Giga Drain again, and maybe kill him. But no, he got the crit, so I'm like, I couldn't have switched out because he would have just killed the Trio, then I would have came in, and it just wouldn't have worked out. I would have been too low HP because of the crit, but whatever. I'm just going to come in with my Trio, Stone Edge, and then he's going to send in his Basculin, and he is going to Aqua Jet me, but I'm going to get off my last hurrah Sucker Punch. Maybe I can get a crit and win this match like a douche, but that doesn't happen, so I'm glad that I didn't, but I'm, and that I lost. But it was a good game. Tony agrees. I believe he mentioned that he was going to be uploading this, so, you'll probably see that at some point and see this at some other point. So, yeah, that's the battle. Hope you guys enjoyed. Good game, Tony, and we need to have a few more. Yeah, see you guys later.